outdoor adventure class. I'm here up in Ontario at Algonquin Provincial Park. This is one of the first provincial parks in Canada. It's about 14 hours north of the high school where you are right now. And Algonquin Park is full of lakes. Canoeing is one of the best ways to get around here. And they do something called a portage between different lakes where they'll carry the canoes. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But what I want to do tonight is paddle a little bit around Kearney Lake, and I'll talk to you a little bit about what you find here in Algonquin. So out here in the lakes in Algonquin Park, there's a few safety things that I make sure that I bring along. Some of them are required by Canadian maritime law. If you look down here, I've got buckle to the thwart here, so if we overturn, we won't lose this. I buckle it back, and it makes a bailer. So if I get a little bit of water in my boat, or my boat overturns, I right it, and I can just scoop out the additional water. Also in here, I keep my compass in here, because you can see after a little while, it's pretty hard to figure out where you are around here. There's also some rope that I can use as a heaving line, and I've got a little whistle to help call for help if it were needed. So that along with that compass, I want to make sure that I have a map. So I have a dry bag here. Make sure I seal that right so it stays dry. And I've got a map of the area. One neat thing about Algonquin, north of us, for about 100 kilometers, we'd hit Quebec and the Ottawa River and a highway, and beyond that is just wilderness until you get to the Hudson Bay and those areas. So we're going to cruise along a little bit more and check out some sites here at Algonquin Provincial Park. So some people will set off for a weekend. They might set off for several days. They might set off for several weeks. And with their canoes, they'll do what I talked about before called the portage. So here at Algonquin Park, they've marked pretty well areas where these lakes connect, and it'll tell you whether you have 50 meters between lakes to carry your canoe and all your gear, or you might have 2 miles or 3 miles that you go. Sometimes you'll leave your packs behind, portage the canoe, and then come back for your packs and bring those to the canoe, settle down in the next lake, and move along. As you get deeper and deeper into the interior of Algonquin, you need to make sure your navigation skills are on. So right now is that hour they call the golden hour, about a half an hour before sunset. The sunset's here around 8:55, I think tonight is the sunset, and we're here in July, toward the end of July. The northern lights, sometimes in the winter you can see them here, but it's still pretty far south for that. This is an area of Canada right where the Canadian shield starts to make itself evident, and that is just the geological and geographic term for an area where we get that bedrock is closer to the surface, and it really changes the vegetation. You got a lot of spruce here, and there's some hardwoods mixed in, some aspen, a lot of northern looking trees that you'll see. As you head up further north, you're going to run into just all of the evergreens here. Some of the wildlife around here at night, last night in the middle of the night, I heard a loon calling out. It's kind of the haunting sound of the loon. There's also wolves in this park, Algonquin wolves, and sometimes you can hear those as well. They do something here called a wolf call every summer. So it's a place where you can really go and find lots of interesting things. Hope you enjoy your day at class today, and I'll see you later.